Disclaimer. We are interested in everything and experts in nothing. We enjoy learning, but get it wrong sometimes. We mean no disrespect, and if we mess up, kindly correct us. Let's take this ride together, unless your intention is to cause harm or distress, in which case, with utmost haste, fuck right off. Okay, so I have a short one today.
Oh, okay.
But it is on topic of spooky season.
Yes, it's still spooky season.
I'm Roxana.
I'm Sarah.
This is the origin stories of jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Yay! So jack-o'-lanterns, what are they? I really hope everybody knows what they are, but just in case you don't, they are pumpkins with ghoulish faces illuminated by candles, and it is definitely a sure sign of Halloween season. Spooky season! The practice of decorating jack-o'-lanterns originated in Ireland, of all places, where large turnips and potatoes served as early canvases. And by the way, I will attach a picture of the turnip version.
Yeah.
That is truly terrifying.
Oh, God.
Like, that is truly terrifying.
Okay.
Like, pumpkins are all warm and fuzzy. And I mean, some people carve scary shit on them, but most of the time you see them and you're happy. Whereas the turnips are genuinely terrifying.
Awesome.
The concept of using a round fruit or vegetable to depict a human face goes back thousands of years in some Northern European Celtic cultures. It may even have had pre-Christian origins that evolved from the custom of head veneration, or potentially even represented war trophies taken from your foes.
Oh.
Which I'm like, vegan shrunken heads?
Yeah, it's definitely a theme. Got it.
Like, instead of like a voodoo doll, it's like, oh, I'm gonna carve your face on this turnip and then I'm gonna smash it on the ground.
But that's satisfying.
I bet, you know what? I think it would be. If it's not already like an anger management thing, we should make it one.
Right? New technique, man.
Let's go ahead and use a potato peeler on this turnip and then smash it, because who likes turnips, honestly?
I don't think I even know what a turnip tastes like, to be completely honest with you.
It has kind of a bitter taste to it. I like them when they're boiled in like stews, like a winter or fall squash stew. Those are good.
Mhm.
But they are definitely a kind of intense flavor. Like, it has a little bit of a bitter bite to it.
Got it.
Once you've had it, you can be like, oh, okay, that's a turnip, and you won't ever mistake it for something else.
It's unique.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, so there's a quote from Nathan Mannion, who is a senior curator for EPIC, the Irish Immigration Museum in Dublin, which it's called EPIC. I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to go.
It's good marketing.
But he says it's quite macabre to have a symbolized severed head of your enemies. I'm like, at least it's a symbol.
Right?
We've already talked about real severed heads.
Right? We've been literal, now we're figurative.
Now we're figurative. So if you're against a human shrunken head, which I'm pretty sure everybody is, here's a turnip. Have fun. The name jack-o'-lantern comes from an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. Irish immigrants brought the tradition to America, home of the pumpkin, and it became an integral part of the Halloween festivities. Pumpkins, I didn't know if you knew this, because I didn't. I mean, it makes sense now that I think of it. Pumpkins are native to the Americas. Like, they have other squashes in places, but pumpkins they didn't have endemically in Ireland. So when they got here, they're like, this is way easier than this damn turnip. and more plentiful.
Got it.
So jack-o'-lantern comes from the legend of Stingy Jack. Yes, what is the legend of Stingy Jack? I'm glad you asked. People have been making jack-o'-lanterns for centuries. We know that this originated from an Irish myth about a man named or nicknamed Stingy Jack. According to the story, Stingy Jack invited the devil to have a drink with him, which honestly, terrible idea.
Also doesn't sound very stingy, but okay.
We're getting there.
Okay.
There's going to be several experiences of his stinginess, which I'm like, okay. But anyway, true to his name, Stingy Jack did not want to pay for his drink. So he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin that Jack could use to buy their drinks.
Whoa.
I already have questions.
Yeah, Jack must have been one hell of a smooth talker. I mean,
first of all, the devil agreed to go have drinks with him, so I'm pretty sure he ain't a boring bitch.
Good Lord.
So once the devil did so, the devil's like, you know what? That's a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and turn into a coin. However, Jack decided to keep the money and he put it into his pocket. And he had a silver cross next to it, and that prevented the devil from changing back into his original form, which honestly rude.
Yeah.
And how does the devil keep falling for this? He lost his damn golden fiddle in Georgia, and now he's stuck in corn form.
Wow.
He's really not making out well in these stories. He's supposed to be the prince of evil, and he's turning into coins and getting stuck in a man's pocket in Ireland.
Yeah, he's the Christian trickster god. Like, he's the one getting tricked.
Yeah, he's not doing very good. And it's going to get worse.
Yay!
Jack eventually freed the devil under the condition that he would not bother Jack for 1 year, and that if Jack should die, he would not claim his soul. Moving on.
Okay. So he literally traded the devil's freedom for a get out of hell free card?
Yes. And a 1 year suspension of we don't talk to each other.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. But then here's what doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay.
The next year, Jack again tricked the devil into climbing into a tree to pick a piece of fruit. Why is the devil talking to him still? Wait. Why are you trusting this dude with anything?
Yeah. Okay. You fell for it once, man. He must be one hell of a smooth talker. I'm impressed.
And also the devil is clearly an idiot in these stories. But anyway, moving on. So while he was up in the tree, Jack carved a sign of the cross into the tree bark so that the devil could not come down.
Oh, Lord.
And he would not remove the cross until the devil promised Jack not to bother him for 10 more years. Which, there had to be like a back and forth until the devil was just like, okay, fine, 10 years. Now let me down from this damn tree. There's a squirrel eyeing me funny.
Yeah. Did he get an extension on his get out of hell free card?
He just said don't bother him for 10 years.
Okay. So
I don't know if he was like too wrapped up in it to say, and also if I die between then, don't take my soul.
Okay. Unknown. Got it.
But here's where the devil kind of gets his back. Soon after this agreement, Jack died. Oh. And as the legend goes, God would not allow such an unsavory figure into heaven. And then the devil, who was upset by his multiple tricks that Jack played on him, then made him keep his word not to claim his soul, he would not allow Jack into hell. So basically, heaven wouldn't take him because he's an asshole, and the devil wouldn't take him in hell because he's pissed at him because he made him look like a fool.
Wow.
So he sent Jack off into the dark night with only a burning coal to light his way. Jack put the coal into a carved out turnip and has been roaming the earth ever since. Gotcha. The Irish began to refer to this ghostly figure as Jack of the Lantern, and then that became Jack-o'-lantern. Because take that! That's what you get! In Ireland and Scotland, people began making their own versions of Jack's lanterns by carving scary faces into turnips or potatoes and placing them into windows or near doors to frighten away Stingy Jack and other wandering spirits. Well, evil spirits. In England, large beets were used. And of course, we know that once they immigrated to the US, they brought the tradition with them. However, they found pumpkins, the fruit native to America, made perfect jack-o'-lanterns, much bigger. No chance of accidentally cutting off a finger while you're trying to carve a stupid little turnip. They're like the size of an onion. They're not very big.
Oh, okay.
And this story also helped to explain Ignis Fatuus, I don't know if I said that right. It is a natural phenomenon that occurs in marshlands and bogs, such as those in Ireland's countryside, producing flickering lights as gases from decomposing organic matter combusting. This is
Yeah.
also called fool's fire, fairy lights, will-o-wisps, and eventually the jack-o'-lantern.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's often seemed like a floating flame that would move away from travelers. If you were to try to follow that light, go into a sinkhole, a bog, or drown. People thought it was Jack of the Lantern's lost soul or a ghost trying to pull one more trick. So basically, don't follow Jack of the Lantern.
Interesting.
Yeah. So by then, the tradition of jack-o'-lanterns had already taken root in the New World, showing up in American literature and media. Writer Nathaniel Hawthorne referenced one in his 1835 short story, The Great Carbuncle. And again, in 1852 with Feathertop, about a scarecrow with a carved pumpkin head. According to Cindy Ott, author of Pumpkin, The Curious History of an American Icon, the first image of a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern is likely one that appeared in an 1867 issue of Harper's Weekly. And there's the picture of the turnip that I will send you, and it is genuinely terrifying.
Okay, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that. Got it.
It just looks uncomfortable. It looks like those like cheesy 60s movies where they made the weirdest stuff be the monsters. So like if a turnip suddenly became alive and chased people down the street, this is what it would look like.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes, except for it's Attack of the Killer Turnips.
Yeah.
I feel like, tomatoes wouldn't be easy to carve because they just get gushy really fast.
Yeah, they just fall apart.
They fell apart. Well, give it to turnips for being a starchy root vegetable that you can carve a face into. So the last bit I have, Cornish folklorist Dr. Thomas Quiller Couch, he died in 1884. He recorded the use of the term in a rhyme used in Polperro, Cornwall, in conjunction with Joan the Wad. The Cornish version of the will-o-wisps, they call Joan the Wad.
Okay, I don't
That's
like it.
just rude.
I don't like it, but I accept it, I guess.
Yes, it's like, oh, look, it's a will-o-wisp. Oh, you mean Joan the Wad? That's just rude. I don't like it. It's just rude. The people of the Polperro regarded them both as pixies. So the rhyme goes, Jack, oh, the lantern, Joan the Wad, who tickled the maid and made her mad? Light me home, the weather's bad. I'm going to assume that they say Wad, Joan the Wad.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Rhyme. Okay, that's better than Joan the Wad. I take it back. I don't know what a Wad is, but it's a lot better than Wad. So let's try this again. Jack, oh, the lantern, Joan the Wad, who tickled the maid and made her mad? Light me home, the weather's bad. Okay, sure. A little weird, but better than Wad. Jack-o'-lanterns were also used as a way of protecting one's home against the undead. Superstitious people used them specifically to ward off vampires. They thought this because it was said that the jack-o'-lantern's light was a way of identifying vampires who, once their identity was known, would give up their hunt for you. Which, I'm sorry, that's a lame-ass vampire. You figure out it's a vampire and it has to go, shit, fine, I'll go home. No! There's like an entire series of movies where you find out that they're a vampire right before they fucking bite you and they laugh in your bloody mouth or whatever. But there you go. Apparently, jack-o'-lanterns are used to identify vampires. So the next time a trick-or-treater comes up, just shove their face in the pumpkin and that will totally end well, I'm sure.
That is brand new information.
Yeah. I've never heard a jack-o'-lantern being used as vampire identity, but hey, that's just me. Okay, so that is what I have on jack-o'-lantern history.
Very cool. Okay. Oh, that makes it my turn. Okay. Whew. So if you enjoyed the podcast, give us a like, share, subscribe on any platform. You can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Our Trivial Obsessions. We're on Twitter at Our Trivial Pod. We have a website, www.ourtrivialobsessions.com. That's where you're going to find our episode extras and bonus materials and references.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you can email us at randomqueensobsess@gmail.com. Random.
Because we are
Queens.
Because we are.
Obsessed. Because we do. So email us there with anything you want to add to the conversation or any topic requests for a future episode. And with that, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.